Spotify was developed in 2006 by a team at Spotify HQ in Stockholm, Sweden. The company was founded by Daniel Ike and Martin Lorentzon. The company's title, Spotify, was initially a misheard name shouted by Martin to Daniel. Later, the founders thought an etymology of combining the words spot and identify. Spotify increased its UK revenue by 42% in 2013, turning over 131.4 million over the 12-month period. Spotify is a streaming service that allows users to access content via the internet, streaming music directly from Spotify servers rather than downloading it locally. One of the main advantages of this is that this cloud-based service allows users to not worry about running out of storage space for their songs. Spotify's increasing popularity is due to the rise of smartphones. Available in 58 markets, 110 territories and 4 continents, Spotify's music can be searched by artist, album, genre, playlist or record label. As of June 2015, Spotify had more than 75 million active users. Spotify is available on desktop, tablet, mobile, Mac, PC and web player. The Beatles, still sounding great. Spotify have many competitors, so we will now highlight their promotional activity and unique offering.
Some of Spotify's main competitors are Apple Music, Deezer and Google Play. Spotify has consistently managed to convert around 25% of its total users to paid subscribers. According to a BPR report, Spotify took 87% of the value of subscriptions in the music streaming market in 2013. While the total music streaming market is particularly fragmented, the paid market shows a different picture. Spotify is the dominant player with 47% of those who have used the paid service going to it most often. Google Play is the second most popular source, attracting 10% of paid users most of the time.
How did 2015 sound to you? Was it the stuff that blew up your feed? Was it the sound of a new discovery? A voice of change? Was it the people you'll never forget? Or the hook that wouldn't quit? Maybe you'll just remember that one song. The one that years later still sounds like 2015.
In 2015, one of Spotify's promotional activities was the Year in Music campaign, which highlighted what its consumers have been listening to. This was assisted with the hashtag #ThatSongWhen. That Song When was used to emotionally connect with millennials in the USA and increase both users and brand love. Spotify used the emotional connection to songs in a social media campaign which invited users to share their stories and memories behind the songs. Spotify consumers love music and telling other people about that passion. Spotify also hosted a virtual house party with DJs from Swedish House Mafia. The house party allowed fans to connect with DJs live by voting for the next song and commenting via live chat. The house party was held within Spotify's Sounddrop app and was additionally hosted as an event on Facebook.
One of Spotify's promotional techniques is through brand partnerships, one of which is with Sony PlayStation, which was launched in March 2015, originally to promote Muse's album Drone. Premium subscribers would have access to a bonus track, and between March and September, Spotify gained 5 million downloads and 100 million song plays from Sony PlayStation users alone. This also allows advertisers to target consumers directly. For example, video game advertisers can target PlayStation users on all devices. This partnership exposed Spotify to a whole new pool of potential customers. Leading on from this is the BMW partnership. The BMW 320i launch partnered with Spotify for an American road trip campaign. The user chooses 5 iconic road trips from which a custom playlist is created. BMW advertising was used during the playlist generation and once complete can be shared via social media. The campaign resulted in 14,000 playlist creations. Also, they're partnered with Starbucks. By using the Starbucks app, Spotify has partnered with 7,500 US Starbucks stores. Customers will be able to use the app to find out what song is playing in store. They can then play the song directly using Spotify, share it on social media, or add it to a personal playlist to listen to later. Spotify is also influencing the music that Starbucks plays in store by creating a playlist directly for it.
One of Spotify's main competitors is Apple Music. Launched in June 2015, it combines subscription-based music streaming with global radio-like programming and a social feature that connects artists to fans. Available in over 100 countries, Apple Music currently has 6.5 million subscribers in less than 7 months. The competitive advantage for Apple Music over Spotify is their pricing strategy. Both services are priced at $9.99, but Apple Music offers a family plan where up to 6 users can listen for $14.99 a month. Tidal Music was launched in 2015 by 13 celebrities, including Jay-Z, Beyonce and Kanye West. The aim was to provide a high-fidelity music streaming service which pays out higher royalties than Spotify and Apple Music to artists. The service costs $19.99 a month, and in October 2015, Tidal hit 1 million subscribers. However, unlike Spotify and Apple Music, there is no free option. However, it was highly criticised in the media, with many pointing out the high cost isn't worth the better quality music, especially when Spotify has more free users than premium. A 2015 Mintel report also shows that 7% of users who are not currently signed into a streaming service are concerned about fair royalty payments to artists. Spotify is already ahead of the game compared to its competitors. It's partnered with a number of firms in order to ensure the brand's longevity and boost its presence amongst consumers. Industry experts have suggested that Tidal should partner with a headphones firm to justify a high subscription, and Apple Music has already partnered with Burberry. Apple's partnership with Burberry is interesting because Burberry is a luxury premium retailer and one of the best in the fashion industry, as is Apple in the technology industry. Therefore, the partnership goes hand in hand as the target audiences are after quality and want to be associated with such luxury brands.
As of April 2014, Spotify is considered more popular among a younger audience, with 18 to 24-year-olds being a key demographic. Spotify has no definable segments. Instead, it offers a unique playlist to suit the needs of the many to ensure the widest possible reach. Half of UK adults have streamed music in the last year, their usage is particularly fragmented in terms of services that consumers access. Spotify is the most used service, attracting 24% of consumers, which equates to 48% of music streamers in the last 12 months. The wide reach of its free service and its paid-for service has been achieved by its range of tracks, over 30 million as of December 2014, as well as the number of exclusive deals it has formed with high-profile artists such as Oasis, Metallica and Led Zeppelin, to name a few. Additionally, its free service has become more accessible after it scrapped its maximum time limit of 10 hours per month in January 2014, while some of its rivals have retained more restrictions in the hope of encouraging sign-ups. For example, Google Play Music All Access offers no free alternative to its paid service apart from a 30-day free trial. Music streaming services have a fairly wide reach. Only 24% of listeners have used a paid-for service in the last year, which equates to just 12% of all adults. People who have used Spotify are 8% more likely to have used a paid service, which is almost 3/4 of this group using Spotify as their main source for paid music. However, more than 2/3 of Spotify's UK user base do not subscribe to its paid service, with its free alternative attracting a much more wider audience. The company claims that its paid-for service that brings in greater revenue for not only itself but for artists and record labels, and it would not exist if it were not for the presence of the free service, pointing out that 8% of page users upgrade from the subscription-free format, as shown in Mintel's quantitative research. This helps consumers to realise the benefit of removing the ads that have been previously interrupted their sessions. Mintel's 2014 report by G, published in 2014, exhibited that PC and laptops and smartphones are the main devices that consumers use to listen to music, which was highlighted in the Vox Pop that we conducted.
Music. It's a streaming music service.
Music.
Music. Expensive.
Current.
My iPhone and my laptop. Laptop and mobile phone.
My phone, laptop, and iPod.
My iPhone.
I use my phone, I have an iPod, and my computer.
On the move or at home. Or only in the house.
Gym, during my commutes, and at home.
On the way to uni. At home. On the train.
In my car, when I walk, and yeah, just I guess when I'm chilling at home.
I use Spotify. Well, usually that, if anything, that's that's all, or just the radio?
Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube.
Yeah, Spotify.
I use Spotify, I use YouTube, iTunes.
Because it's free.
I guess because I'm used to it, I don't know how to do it.
Because they're convenient and easy.
Because it's cheap and it's easy to use and you actually don't have to pay for it.
Because they're very easy to use and they're very accessible and they have all the music I like.
A recent report compiled in 2014 proposed factors which would convince consumers to purchase streaming services, which found that an offer to pay a discounted rate for the first 6 months would encourage consumers' purchasing decisions. The report found that students are significantly more likely than any other people to pay for access that came with early content from the US. Spotify's Year in Music campaign and sponsored jungle parties are examples of spectacle marketing, creating an engaging and emotive environment for the consumer to make touch points. The spectacle is not a collection of images, it is a social relationship between people that is mediated by the images. Spotify created emotive impressions with their consumers via promotional activities like That Song When and the Year in Music campaign. By promoting their unique offerings of tailored playlists through campaigns like the ones mentioned, Spotify created a deeper, more accurate and more sustainable relationship with their customers. Consumers have access to an array of 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s music, right up to the modern day, meaning nostalgic relationships can be formed between Spotify and their consumers. This has been intentionally used by Spotify, as hipsters tend to embrace and engulf nostalgia. One of Spotify's key demographics are 16 to 24-year-olds, who are most likely to use either a free or paid-for streaming service. Another interesting demographics are the over 35s, who are reluctant to shift away from physical copies of music and prefer to own the actual copy. One female, aged 55 plus, socioeconomic group ABC1, states, "I do not use any of these music streaming services, mainly because there is a subscription charge which I do not wish to pay. I do like music and prefer to own an actual CD." Another respondent, male, aged 35 to 44, socioeconomic group ABC1, states, "I prefer to buy the physical copy of CDs I want so I can play them wherever and whenever I want."
Okay, sales promotion, creating the incentive. Spotify have student and family discounts available, a form of promotion that offers the consumer an incentive. A marketing initiative, the purpose of which to drive a call to action that has a direct impact on the behaviour of the brand's target audience by offering a demonstrable benefit that is not necessarily tangible. Spotify's incentives, influencing the hierarchy of effects. So the hierarchy of effects are cognitive, affective, behavioural, or think, feel, do. The incentives provided by the sales promotion influences the cognitive reaction of the consumer. It sparks a think reaction. In turn, the cognitive reaction transfers into an affective process, something that Spotify intends to engage using their emotive product, the music, as a means of causing a feel reaction. The affective reaction manifests a behavioural reaction from the consumer. This may be a purchase or a membership verification.
Looking at audience reach and listening behaviour, Spotify, one of the leading music streaming services, in particular its free service, offers a unique audience reach, with Spotify being the top audio streaming service in 8 out of 10 countries, with an average incremental reach of 10% per channel. Spotify's audiences listen across the day, making it a strong complement to an audio buy. In comparison to radio, listeners' activities often over-indexes in the morning, whereas Spotify builds throughout the day, peaking in the late afternoon and early evening. Moving on from this, Spotify's 2014 report highlights that 40% of Spotify free listeners, on average, pay full or most attention when they are listening, which could be beneficial to those that use Spotify's in-house advertising.
One of the key trends in the music industry is that downloaded music sales are declining and music streaming is increasing. The Spotify premium customer spends more per year compared to the average spend of a US consumer who buys music. The Spotify customer is on average 1.6 times more financially viable than the average adult non-Spotify consumer, and only a quarter of music streamers have used a paid-for service in the last year, with most users happier to put up with advertising in exchange for free access.
There have been times where I had to get on the phone with really big managers and who have really big clients and tell them what the downside was for them leaving their product off of Spotify. All of the music is still available on YouTube for free. It's still available on the piracy services for free. So you're missing out on a big audience, and you're missing out on a revenue stream.
One of Spotify's business models is the freemium model. This describes a business model in which you give away a core product for free to a large group of users and sell premium products to a smaller fraction of this base. Despite just 25% of users paying for the premium subscription, this percentage provides the majority of the business's revenue. For other music services, the number of users that convert to a paid subscription is often lower. Free users who are subject to adverts make up the remaining revenue. In terms of monetizing apps, the freemium business model is significantly more lucrative than other paid apps. However, music streaming platforms have suffered from backlash from several artists for offering free music services. For example, most notably, Taylor Swift pulled her music from Spotify by arguing music should not be free. Following this, Adele has opted for her new multi-platinum selling album not to be streamed on Spotify or Apple Music.
The consumer processing model can be applied to one of Spotify's campaign, in particular the stage of processing the message. Consumers process messages in four basic ways when they are exposed to advertising and other marketing communications. These basic processing responses are attention, learning, acceptance and emotion. Emotion plays a vital role in advertising and media processing. Each of these responses can be used by marketing managers to develop creative advertising strategies and to facilitate the achievement of communication objectives. Spotify used the emotional connection to songs in their That Song When hashtag campaign in order to invite users to share stories and memories to relevant songs. Adweek quoted Spotify saying that they wanted to tap into the truth about music, and it was really important to tap into real people and their real feelings about the songs that inspire them.
Okay, so in this section we wanted to get first-hand experience of a musician experiencing Spotify and putting their content online. So we interviewed Ben, who's a band member for Polar Beach. Okay Ben, firstly it's great to have you in the studio. Do you think Spotify treats small musicians fairly?
Not particularly. I think they don't pay as well as they could do in regards to how much money you get per stream.
Okay, that's fair. Has it helped your band being on Spotify?
Again, not as well, although I do like the service where they show which tickets are available for our next shows and things like that. It's good to keep the few fans we have informed.
Okay, cool. Have you ever considered taking your content off Spotify, like maybe moving it to just Apple Music, or I don't know, taking it off?
No, not really. If we were offered some kind of deal, I'm sure we would do that. But
basically, if you were offered a deal, you would take it off.
Yes, possibly. It depends what is in this deal, but you know, the more the merrier so far now.
Of course, yes. It generates viewers, right? Do you think, it's a pretty big question, but do you think the digital revolution has been good for music in general, or has it had a negative effect?
I think, in terms of finding music, I think it's been a lot better for people. It's so much easier to find music now than it would have been. But in terms of for artists getting paid, I don't think it's improved for them. It's obviously gone a lot further downhill.
Okay, so we conducted a SWOT analysis of Spotify. So the strengths are, it's got a good mobile and desktop design, user-friendly. Advertising guarantees revenue for artists, so Spotify can host the music. Market capital potential remains high with millions of users and fans. So the weaknesses, artists can refuse to publish their work, keeping some of Spotify's music library limited, like Taylor Swift. Financial returns are not usually close to those produced through the traditional stores and physical record sales. Spotify's constant promotion of their premium service makes it less attractive for consumers. Opportunities. Concert and performance streams, especially with use of mobile technology. It makes it more accessible for those without social media. Other geographic markets could be breached, so Africa or Asia, or we could develop a following further through promotion. The threats are that there are other competitors, there's lots of competitors, some of which iTunes, Amazon, Google, Deezer, there's many more. Revenue and profits continuously remaining low, so this is something that needs to be improved.
To compete with an array of competitors, one future growth recommendation is for Spotify to adopt music video integration service as well as a music discovery option. We recommend integrating music videos into chart playlists such as Global Top 50. This will help Spotify to compete with other competitors such as YouTube and allow artists to use Spotify as a promotional tool. The music videos could be exclusively for premium users and artists can offer previews of album launches. This will allow consumers to immerse themselves further into their music experience. Spotify could also offer a mood discovery service like Shazam. These could be for premium users which they can use to find a song they are listening to but do not know the name of. All of these recommendations will allow Spotify to justify their premium service and consumers will get some more value for money. Spotify will also generate other revenue forms through these forms from record label companies wanting to promote artists on an exclusive platform.
Thank you for listening.
That's awful.
No, that's good.
That's so great.
Watch it back, and I bet it's fine.